morning students. Welcome back to first PUC Mathematics class 3. Chapter name is complex number. In the previous sessions I discussed with you all the definition of complex number. Complex number is denoted in the form of a plus I into b or x plus I into y, which means it is a combination of real number and imaginary number. Imaginary number is denoted by small I. We also discussed about the algebra of operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. We discussed about the conjugate of a complex number, that is, it is denoted by z bar, and if a complex number is denoted by z. Suppose z is equal to a plus ib, then its conjugate is denoted by z bar and is given by z is equal to a minus I into b, that is by changing the signs of an imaginary number. Next, moving on to the next topic, we discussed about the algebra of operations of a complex number, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Apart from that, we also discussed about the powers of I, that is the powers of an imaginary number, where I equal to root of minus 1, I square, root of minus 1, I square is equal to minus 1, I cube is equal to minus I, and so on. And in the previous session, we also solved some problems wherein we need to represent each of the following in the form of a plus I into b. So, keeping these concepts in mind, we shall continue the previous session problems. Quickly to summarize, power of I is square root of minus 1, I is minus 1, I square is minus 1, I cube is minus I. So, keeping these concepts in mind, we shall pass on to the next problem. We shall continue the problems. So, express each of the following in the form of a plus I into b. So, given 1 minus I minus of minus 1 plus I into 6. This can be written as what? 1 minus I plus 1 minus I into 6. These two are real numbers. So, what does 1 plus 1 sum up to? 2. What is the coefficient of I here? Minus 1. What is the coefficient of I here? Minus 6. Minus 1 minus 6 will be minus 7 into I. We need to represent in the form of a plus I into b. So, what do I write? A plus I into, what is the value of b here? Minus 7. So, the resultant answer will be 2 plus I into minus 7. Moving to the next problem, we have 2 minus I minus of 6 plus 3 into I. This can be written as 2 minus I minus 6 minus 3I. What is 2 minus 6? Minus 4. Minus 1 minus 3 will be minus 4I. It has to be in the form of a plus I into b. So, this can be written as minus 4 plus I into, what is the value of b here? Minus 4. What is the value of a? Minus 4. What is the value of b? b again here is minus 4. The next problem, 1 by 5 plus I into 2 by 5 minus of 4 plus I into 5 by 2. First, we shall eliminate the brackets by multiplying with signs. We can rewrite this as 1 by 5 plus I into 2 by 5 minus 4 minus 4 I into 5, sorry, minus 4 minus I into 5 by 2. Multiplying the signs, minus into plus, minus, minus into plus will be minus again. So, next what we do, we will group the real part and we shall group the imaginary part. Which is the real part here? 1 by 5 minus 4, which is a plus. I shall group the imaginary part by taking I as common. What is the value of imaginary part? 2 by 5 minus 5 by 2. When you take the LCM, so in the first problem, I will just teach you in detail how to take the LCM. First cross multiply, 5 into 4, 20. So, 1 minus 20, 5 into 4 will be 20. Numerator will be 1 minus 20 divided by 5 plus I into Now, just observe how to take the LCM. What is the first denominator here? 2 and 5. So, in the working column, you can make a note of it. The denominators are 2 and 5. To find the LCM, you need to consider the denominators, that is 2 and 5. When you take the LCM, what will be the LCM? 2 ones are 2, 5 remains as it is, and this will be 1, 1. So, what is 5 into 2? 10 will be the LCM. Now, after this, you need to consider the first part of the term. What is the first part? 2 by 5 is here. So, 2 by 5 into LCM. What is LCM? We arrived at 10. So, when you simplify, 5 ones are 5 twos are. What is 2 into 2 will be 4. What sign do I have here? Minus. Which is the second term? 5 by 2. 5 by 2 into LCM. What is the LCM here? 10. So when you simplify, 2 ones are 2 fives are, 5 into 5 will be 25. This is how we find the LCM. This is in the working column. What is 1 minus 20? It will be minus 19 by 5 plus I into, what is 4 minus 25? 4 minus 25 will be minus 21 by 10. So can I say this is of the form A plus I into B? Yes. What is the value of A? Minus 19 by 5. And what is the value of B? Minus 21 by 10. This is how we take the LCM part. So moving on to the next problem now. I'll just erase the LCM part now. So moving on to the next problem, we have 1 by 3 plus I into 7 by 3. 1 by 3 plus I into 7 by 3 plus 4 plus I into 1 by 3 minus 4 by 3 plus I. Minus 4 by 3 plus I. So first what we do, we shall just multiply with the signs now. Multiplying by signs, what do you get? 1 by 3 plus I into 7 by 3 plus into plus 4 plus I into 1 by 3 minus into minus will be plus 4 by 3 minus into plus will be minus I. So once again I will repeat the step. The first term is written as it is, 1 by 3 plus I into 7 by 3. Then you will multiply by signs just to eliminate the brackets. Plus into plus will be plus 4, plus into plus will be plus again. So it will be plus into 1 by 3. Similarly minus into minus will be plus 4 by 3, and this will be minus I. Now group the real parts and imaginary parts together. What is the real part here? 1 by 3 plus 4 plus 4 by 3. This is the real part. I'll group the imaginary part by taking I as common. What do I get? 7 by 3 plus 1 by 3 plus, minus I. So 1 by 3 plus 4 plus 4 by 3 is the real part. When I take out I as common, what is the imaginary part? 7 by 3 plus 1 by 3 minus 1. Minus 1. Now, how to take the LCM now? What is the LCM what is the denominator in the first term? 3. Denominator in the second term will be 1. Denominator for the third term will be 3. So when I take 3, 1 and 3, what will be the LCM? The LCM will be 3. Similarly, start simplifying with the first term. Consider the first term, multiply with LCM. What do I get? 1 by 3 into 3 will be 1. 4 by 1 into 3, that is 4 by 1 into LCM. LCM is 3. 4 3s are 12 plus 4 by 3 into 3. 3 and 3 gets cancelled. This will be 4. Similarly, I into, what is the denominator for the first term here? 3. Second term is again 3, and denominator for the third term will be 1. So what will be the LCM? 3, 3 and 1. When you take the LCM, the answer will be 3 itself. The LCM for the second term will be 3. What is the first term now? 7 by 3. 7 by 3 into LCM. What is the LCM here? 3. 3 and 3 gets cancelled. Answer will be 7 plus 1 minus 3. How did I get minus 3? By considering the last term. What is the last term here? 1 divided by 1 divided by what is 1 here again? 1 itself into LCM. What is the LCM? LCM is 3. So what is 1 into 3? 3 again. So 12 plus 4, 16. 16 plus 1 will be 17. 17 by 3 plus I into 7 plus 1, 8. What is 8 minus 3? 5 by 3. So this is of the form A plus I into B. What is the value of A here? 17 by 3. What is the value of B here? 5 by 3. And this is of the form A plus I into B. That is the working column part. Please make a note of it. Moving on to the next problem, we have 1 by 3 plus I into 3 whole cube. What is A plus B whole cube? According to the formula, A cube plus B cube plus 3A square B plus 3A B square. With regards to the complex identity, what is Z1 plus Z2 whole cube, which we solved in the previous classes? Z1 cube plus Z2 cube plus 3Z1 square Z2 plus 3Z1 Z2 square. So keeping these identity or formulas in mind, we can write that we know that what is A plus B whole cube? A cube plus B cube plus 3A square B plus 3A B square. What is the value of A? 1 by 3. What is the value of B? It is I into 3. So expanding this according to the formula, we get, what is A cube here? This is A and this is B. What is A cube? 1 by 3 whole cube plus what is B cube? I into 3 whole cube plus 3. What is A square? 1 by 3 square. And what is B? I into 3 plus 3 into, what is the value of A? 1 by 3. The value of A is 1 by 3. And what is the value of B square? I into 3 whole square. So substitute the value of A and B. What is A cube? 1 by 3 whole cube plus what is B? I into 3. I into 3 whole cube plus 3 remains as it is. What is A? 1 by 3 whole square. What is B? I into 3 plus 3 as it is. What is A? 1 by 3. And what is B square? I into 3 whole square. So expanding this, what do we get? 1 by 27 plus I cube 27 plus 3 into what is 1 by 3 square? 9 into I into 3 plus, directly we can get cancelled, 3 and 3 gets cancelled. What remains now? I square into 9. When you square it is I square into 9. 1 by 3 whole square is 9 again. So 9, 3 and 3 can be simplified. What remains in the numerator is I. 3 and 3 gets cancelled. What is I square into 3 square? I square into 9. Now this is 1 by 27 as it is. We know that what is the value of I cube? What is the value of I cube? The powers of I. The value of I cube is minus I and the value of I square is minus 1. The value of I cube is minus I. So this can be written as minus I into 27 plus what remains? I plus what is the value of I square? Minus 1. Minus 1 into 9. Simplifying further, we have 1 by 27 plus into minus, minus I into 27 plus I plus into minus minus, and it is 9. Now this can be written as, group the real part. Now what is the real part? 1 by 27 minus 9. If you take out I as common, what remains here? 1 minus 27. 1I minus 27I will be minus 26I. 1 minus I. Minus I into 27 plus I into 27 will be minus 26I. So simplifying further, 27 into 9. So what is 27 into 9? That is nothing but 243. So this can be further simplified and written as 1 minus 243 divided by 27 plus I into minus 26. So what is 1 minus 243? 1 minus 243 will be minus 242 by 27 plus I into minus 26. So this is of the form A plus I into B. What is the value of A? Minus 242 by 27. What is the value of B? Minus 26. And this is of the form A plus I into B. Next, moving on to the next problem we have. We need to express this in the form of A plus I into B. So when you observe the numerator is of the form what? A plus B into A minus B. So what is A plus B into A minus B? A plus B into A minus B is A square minus B square. When you observe the numerator is of the form A plus B into A minus B. What is A plus B into A minus B? A square minus B square. So what is A square here? 3 square minus, what is B square? I into root 5 whole square. So this is A square minus B square. Now start eliminating the denominator part. We shall simplify. So what is the denominator here? Root 3 plus I into root 2 minus root 3, minus into minus plus I into root 2. So in the denominator, plus root 3 and minus root 3 gets cancelled. So what happens in the numerator now? What is 3 square? It is 9 minus I can be written as I square. What is root 5 whole square? Square root and the 5 square get cancelled. What remains? 5. When you square I, it becomes I square. When you square the square root 5, the square root and the square root, square and the square root gets cancelled. What remains? 5. Now, what remains in the denominator? I root 2 and I root 2. What is the coefficient of I here? 1. What is the coefficient of I here again? 1. 1 I root 2 plus 1 I root 2 will be 2 times I into root 2. What is the value of I square? The powers of I square is nothing but minus 1. This can be written as 9 minus of minus 1 into 5 divided by 2I root 2. And what will this sum up to? Minus into minus plus. So this is 9 plus 5 divided by 2I root 2. 9 plus 5 is nothing but 14 divided by 2 times root 2 into I. 2 ones are 2 sevens are. So what will be the final answer? 2 by root 2 into I. Now, do we have a real part in this problem? The real part is not there. So we consider the real part to be 0, and therefore the final answer will be 0 plus I into 7 by root 2. 0 plus I into 7 by root 2. This is of the form A plus I into B. What is the value of A here? 0. What is the value of B here? 7 root 2. So this will be the resultant answer. Similarly, you all can try this problem at home. You all can solve it on your own. Minus 2 minus 1 by 3I into whole cube. Now this is of the form A minus B whole cube or Z1 minus Z2 whole cube. What is Z1? Minus 2. What is Z2? 1 by 3 into I. Keeping the identity A minus B whole cube or Z1 minus Z2 whole cube in mind, just try this problem on your own. Moving on to the next concept, we have multiplicative inverse of a complex number. Multiplicative inverse of a complex number is denoted by Z inverse and is given by Z inverse is equal to Z bar divided by modulus Z square. So, what is Z bar? Conjugate of the complex number. How the conjugate of a complex number is obtained? By changing the signs of an imaginary number. So, keeping these concepts in mind, we shall first begin with the first problem. Find the multiplicative inverse of the following. The problem states that find the multiplicative inverse of the following. The question is given, so we shall denote the question as Z. So let Z equal to 4 minus 3 into I. Now, what is Z bar? Z bar is obtained by changing the signs of the imaginary number. So this can be written as 4 plus I into 3. Minus I into 3 will become plus I into 3. How do you find mod Z? Square root of real part square, that is 4 square plus imaginary part square minus 3 square imaginary part. So what will this sum up to? Mod Z square. So this is mod Z whole square. Square root and the square get cancel. What is 4 square? 16. What is minus 3 whole square? 9, which will sum up to 25. So what is Z inverse finally? Z inverse is given by Z bar by modulus Z square. What is Z bar? 4 plus I into 3, and what is mod Z square? Mod Z square is nothing but 25. This can be written as 4 by 25 plus I into 3 by 25. Next problem. This is the formula for Z inverse. Next. First step. What is the first step here? We shall denote it as Z. Let Z is equal to root 5 plus I into 3. What is Z bar? Z bar is the conjugate of the complex number obtained by changing the signs of an imaginary number. This is nothing but root 5 minus I into 3. How do you find mod Z square root of? This is root 5 square plus 3 square, and you are squaring it. According to square root and the square get cancel. Root 5 and square get cancel. What is 5 plus 9 equal to? What is mod Z square? 5 plus 9 equal to 14. So what is Z inverse? Z inverse, that is multiplicative inverse, is given by Z bar by modulus Z square. What is Z bar? Root 5 minus I into 3 divided by 14. This is about multiplicative inverse. Moving on to the next problem, that is minus I. So we shall denote Z equal to minus I. What is Z bar? Z bar will be plus I. We shall find modulus of Z now. Square root of real number. Do we have a real number there? No. So we'll consider it as 0 square. What is the coefficient of an imaginary number? Imaginary coefficient is minus 1 square. This will sum up to root 1. Now how do you find mod Z square now? Root 1 whole square. Square root and the square get cancelled. Answer will be 1 again. So multiplicative inverse of a complex number is given by Z inverse is equal to Z bar by modulus Z square. What is Z bar? Z bar will be plus I divided by 1. This is all about multiplicative inverse of a complex number. Next. We shall pass on to the next topic, Argand plane or polar representation. So from this concept you have one question for 3 marks in your question paper. So, and it's one of the important topic. So let me quickly tell you about the definition. The plane on which complex number are represented is called a complex number, or is called a complex plane or Gaussian plane or Argand plane. The plane on which the complex numbers are represented is called a complex plane or Gaussian plane or Argand plane. The representation of complex number as points in that particular plane is called as the Argand diagram. So this is the diagram now. It contains 2 axes. One is x-axis and one is y-axis. Let P of x comma y be any point on a plane. Join OP. That is, from origin to this point you will join OP. From the point P, draw PM perpendicular to what axis? X-axis. Let P of x comma y be any point in a plane. join OP, where O is the origin. From the point P, draw PM perpendicular to x-axis. The distance of OM is nothing but x. The distance of OP is nothing but R, and the distance of PM is nothing but y. Now, how do you define sine theta with respect to right angle triangle? That is opposite by hypotenuse. Cos theta is given by adjacent side by hypotenuse. So how do you define sine theta? Opposite side by hypotenuse. This is the opposite side. So this is y by r. So sine theta is defined by y by r, and therefore what is y? Y is equal to r into sine theta. Similarly, how do you define cos theta in terms of right angle triangle? It is defined as adjacent side by hypotenuse. In the diagram, which is the adjacent side? OM is called as the adjacent side, and the distance of OM is denoted by x. So it is nothing but x by r, and therefore what is r equal to? R is equal to x is equal to, what is x is equal to? X is equal to r into cos theta. Call this as equation number 1 and this as equation number 2. Keeping equation 1 and equation 2 in mind, that is equation 1 is equal to, where y is equal to r sin theta and x equal to r cos theta. The values of theta satisfying equation 1 and equation 2 such that minus pi less than or equal to theta less than pi, where the value of pi is 180 degree, is called amplitude of z, denoted by amp z, that is AMP of z, or argument of z, denoted by ARG of z. Now we will consider a complex number z equal to x plus I into y. X is called the real part and y is called the imaginary part. So substitute for x here. What is x? R cos theta plus I into, what is y? R sin theta. You can take out r as common. So z equal to r, if you take out, it becomes cos theta plus I sin theta. So this is called the polar form of a complex number. The polar form of a complex number is given by z equal to r into cos theta plus I sin theta. With this, I have come to an end of today's session. In my next session, we shall solve some problems based on this topic. Thank you.